Hello everybody, welcome to another Speedart video. In this one I'm going to be revealing which Halloween costume I'm going to do. And the updated videos will be posted throughout this week. Now that I remember that Halloween is not next Saturday, next Monday, but 3 of my clubs are having events, and one event on campus where they highly encourage you to wear your Halloween costumes. And I'm going to do it, and I'm going to look good doing it. And hopefully I can get some other people interested in it. Maybe help me with my channel. I don't know. Now, for today, I'm actually also going to be doing a, not really a conspiracy theory, but just an observation about this summer's movies. Yes, a lot of people said that it wasn't a good movie season, or because interests were somewhere else, or because of the controversies plaguing the country at the time. But my side is based on 2 movies. Both of them were hyped up pretty much, but one was panned, even though it was a good movie, Ghostbusters, and one was universally acclaimed, Captain America Civil War. Put the chair down. I have a point with this. Now, my thing is, for both of them, they pretty much have very similar villains, who each with different goals. And, well, not really, they have similar goals, but different methods on how they want to do it. Professor Zemo and Captain America Civil War wants, in fact, a lot of America and some of the other, well, mainly Americans, they're looking for someone to blame in the Sokovia massacre. And people individually are taking it as if the Avengers have killed their families exclusively, as if on purpose, instead of the fact that there's a war zone going around and they were trying to save as many people as they can. Similarly, in Ghostbusters, we have Ronald, a ghost guy. I'm going to call him Ghost Guy. Can't even remember his name, but he's universally said that he's pretty unforgettable, even though he matches up the best parts of the 2 previous villains. The professor who actually summoned Zool, and not just Zool, the other demon, I forgot the name, and the guy from the second movie, Jandos, who essentially summoned Ivan the Terrible, Vigo the Impaler, whatever his name is, in order to fulfill his needs, in order to creepily get on a woman, get with Dana. So why do you think they're similar? Well, they both put, in a way, kind of misplaced their anger at the world on people in particular. Zemo, as if, okay, yes, it was an accident, you guys should have probably got away from the blast zone earlier, but I cannot blame him for the, yes, the Avengers are somewhat at fault for his family's deaths, but a lot of people died. You could have said that you were doing this in revenge for all the people in Sokovia who died in the massacre who couldn't be saved, but instead you chose your family specifically. And I feel as though, yes, it was a war zone, and he was a part of a war effort in the army, so a little bit of him could, I know this may sound insensitive, and I'm very sorry. So when you go off to war with someone else in your army, to another country, or another nation, or another enemy, and a lot of people there die, apparently it's a good thing, even though they probably have families and friends who want vengeance, or possibly killing innocent people in the crossfire, and you're praised as a hero, such as the Avengers, how they should have, since they helped save the world. And a lot of people, I really keep saying they're out of control. The only one that was probably out of control was Tony Stark, and yet the government chose to look at him more as the golden boy instead of Captain America. Now, if he had just gone after Tony Stark in particular, that would have been understandable. He makes a lot of enemies. Instead, he decided to break up the Avengers, an entire team that's in charge of keeping the world safe. And they don't target just individual people unless they actually do things on a massive level. He went through an entire plot where he killed probably a lot of people, probably less than the Sokovia death toll, but a little higher than probably, say, the 3 or 4 people that he was claiming he was avenging, including a lot of friends, family, and in Black Panther's case, he killed his father, and while he apologized for it, he doesn't seem to realize the consequence of his actions make him no different than the Avengers he portrays as being unfit to rule the world. I mean, unfit to protect them. Now, our second guy, Ghost Guy, he's Misanthrope Supreme. He hates people. And even, yes, the movie puts out, yes, we have the Ghostbusters. Ironically enough, it's the depiction where the Ghostbusters are actually seen in a more positive light by the outsiders, and it's just the government getting on them. In any other movie where they have the guy Ghostbusters, nobody gives them respect. And this one they do. No matter what the controversy says, at least in this movie, people gave them respect, and it's more or less skeptics who give them the benefit of the doubt. Barely. Now, this guy, he has his own agenda is that he doesn't like anybody, so I'm going to ruin the world. That's pretty much what the other Zemo was doing. Only both of them also anticipated dying for their plan to work so they can rule over others. Well, not really rule over. Ghost Guy wanted to rule over others, so he was already going to commit suicide. Zemo was going to kill himself after Captain America and Iron Man, I'm assuming, evidently killed each other. I'm guessing that was his plan, since he just left them to fight, and he was going to have him kill Bucky while they're at it. A guy who really has he knows that he's done wrong, but he had no control over it. And even then, how do you even find out about Bucky, is my guess. Even though he doesn't have any connection to the, gosh, what is the name? To Red Skull and them. He seems to have a lot of insight into what happened, and it seems like he went far more into what happened with Captain America and Bucky than a civilian probably should. Which says that he already probably had distrust of the Avengers, maybe like many others, like in the government. They feel like, oh, we don't have these powers, but we have the right to make sure what you guys can and can't do with it. Because now you're soldiers, not even soldiers, you're property of the government now. With Ghost Guy, he obviously relished in being a ghost. He relished in probably killing off people for the heck of it. And one of his redeeming qualities only is that he gave a huge tip to someone, and he just said, oh, blue-collar workers are going to be killed last. Okay. So either way, these guys are very similar, so what is the difference between their two movies? Well, one got attacked by a vocal, not even vocal minority, a vocal crowd of people who claim that the movie will not be as good as the first because girls can't be Ghostbusters. Yeah, I'm gonna throw that out. So even when I was a little kid, when I first saw Ghostbusters, I thought it was pretty cool. I still pretended to be a Ghostbuster, no matter what anybody said. And I guess I was privileged because no one told me, hey, you can't be a Ghostbuster, you have to be a secretary because you're a girl. And I never got that. In fact, a lot of times my friends and I, who were mainly girls, we all played out the different parts of any franchise that we did, and some of us would enthusiastically be the guy parts and some would be the girl parts. And sometimes with the guys, we would still do that if we ran out of people or one person was better at playing than the other. And for Captain America Civil War, it's already been hyped up since the comic book series had a lot of talk, and everybody just loves MCU. So I think that's probably why this actually worked. That and they kind of hid Zemo pretty well, since they originally made it all about Bucky and Captain versus Iron, when really it's more or less a mix of one guy's actions being plagued by the memories of his dead family and not allowing himself to move on, instead going for revenge instead of going into grief. Not to mention, there in Ghostbusters, there have been talks about how if he's so forgettable, why in the world is he a lot more successful and causing a lot more harm, damage, and impact on the city of New York in his film than, I don't know, than the other two villains combined. They, even when they summoned Zool and the other demons, they didn't really hurt a lot of people. They targeted two people, and second film, Janos and Vigo both targeted two people, Baby and Dana, or Dana and Lewis. Well, this guy, he turned New York into a playground. He unleashed a bunch of ghosts, and he's a lot more dangerous than the other two combined. not to mention both films also take place in New York, so I thought that was pretty cool. Nice little connection. Well, that's it. And here's my costume. I'm going to be Judy Hopps. Yay! Thank you guys so much for watching. And if you click on any part of the costume below, it'll take you, as the videos are given out, it'll take you to different segments of the video and how I made the different parts of the costume, which leads up to the final costume reveal. And another little tidbit, for Judy Hopps, I kind of didn't realize it, but she's the first Disney heroine to just only be seen in pants. On the big screen, all she wears is pants. She doesn't wear a dress. Subtle women empowerment? I don't know. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you next time. Bye.